So there it comes up. And anyway, when last we left everyone, let's see if I can, there's been a weird, they've done a change to Zoom here, so I just want to make sure I've got it right. All right, can you guys all see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I should be able to control this to some degree. So this is the room that we left you guys in. This was Lareth the Beautiful. This is his room number. Here's 35, where you looted out the rest of his stuff. And then you can see the barracks for all the men that you ended up slaughtering to get to Lareth. But nevertheless, this is where you guys stopped. Now, when remember, everybody here is fully healed except for Darn, who's got a burn wound, and Bitsy, who's got a burn wound, correct? So those are the only two people that...
Locke's got one wound.
Oh, Locke still got one?
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody is complete.
Oh, wait, so does Grok. So both of mine have one wound each.
Okay, I thought I got them all, but I guess not.
No.
Okay. Anyway, but that left us with 0. Everyone's got no CCV, so none of our casters have CCV. That includes the Ranger, Siren, Darn, and Bitsy. So you guys need to decide what to do. You've obviously been in the this sub dungeon of the Moat House for some time, clearing your way to get to this lair. But nevertheless, what's your next course of action, folks?
Did we decide whether or not we're going to finish clearing out the rest of this? Because there was still quite a bit in here.
I thought we
hadn't gotten
were.
to.
Yeah,
There's still quite a bit to do. Plus, we got that one pillar that we opened up on that other side.
Yeah, I
Right.
never went down.
right. So you guys had decided you were staying here and not taking what you thought was probably an exit to the surface, which is close to here. So this was the first room. This was the long hall where you guys had to fight down into it. There's the curved hall, and then this this section here, 32, is where you got the scent of this the swamps and stuff like that, and it slowly went up. So you guys would have to go back back through this diagonal hall that took you here in the first place. But you've got you can see there's a decent amount of space here that you've cleared to this point. Yeah, and then there's like a little sub storage room here that you guys have checked out, but that's it. So, I mean, at this point, assuming nobody comes down that corridor, that might be other agents of the Temple of Elemental Evil, you guys are probably pretty good to catch a rest here if you wanted to and try to get some of those CCV back. Remember, CCV comes back to you in a number of hours equal to 10 minus your resilience attribute. So that'll tell you how long it takes for the casters to get a nap before they'll be back, at least to their have their magic back. And it'll take Siren the elf 2 hours of meditations because he doesn't like to sleep to get his magic back, but otherwise it's
Yeah, it's 2 hours for me too.
And how about you, Darn?
It's 6 hours for the dwarf.
Wow, he's got a 4 resilience.
That's the weakest dwarf ever.
Poor guy. He's a hill dwarf. He's not one of those strong mountain dwarves over there.
Too much time spent in the temple praying.
There you go. It made him soft. But nevertheless, so you guys can probably so you guys would have to be here for 6 hours or so, but that'll allow you to get yourselves a meal. You can use the one if there's a fire brazier here, some obviously some beds. The only thing that you're probably looking for to stay away from, obviously I said when I described it that there was a decent amount of just kind of like wall clinging fungi here. And that stuff is not stuff you really want to get involved in. So probably not going to get into this guy's bed considering how much fungi had grown off of him. But nevertheless, you can pull out your packs, warm up some rations or do what you need to do there and collect 6 hours of sleep if that's good for you.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So, let's see. You do not get disturbed during the course of the time that you are here, since this area is fairly well known to be stayed away from by any other denizens within the dungeon. So you're good. You wake up after about 7 hours of collecting, eating, and getting your sleep. You've got your CCV back, and you can begin to journey out. So does that mean you want to take this the curved corridor or the angled corridor back?
Yeah, the original way we came down.
Yeah,
and then
retrace
we'll
our
go-
steps.
All right.
Are we going back to the pillar, I assume?
Well, you've got a couple ways, because this, as you can see, your angle up here, this is going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, so about 80 feet. You guys move back up this old hall. And wow.
God, that is
Eventually
long.
you come to this T. Now, you've been to the north. That's where you came out of. That was the room where you had encountered the gnolls.
Okay.
But you never went south from here. So you don't know what's down that. I assume that Bitsy, are you going to throw up a light again?
Yeah,
Okay. So
and
you
yeah,
can
I say we go
generate
south then.
generate that, cost yourself a CCV, but it comes up. And yeah, so you can go back to the north. You know that the north has two ways you haven't been. One of them is the pillar that has the secret door in it, and the other is a way that you never took when you came down of another secret entrance. So if you go up here, this is the gnolls room, I guess. And then the gnolls were off here. And then you could go up. It's kind of jankies around, but it has a way to go here. And this, the S here is the, that's where Mark disabled the trap that was going to have the ceiling fall on you, but you've never been down here.
Okay.
Or you can go down that main hall that all the way to the south.
Yeah, I say we go the south first since we're right there.
Okay.
That's a good plan.
All right, you begin to head down here. Your light shines in front of you. It's a 20-foot long burst, so it gives you a little bit of forewarning as you move down. Eventually, it moves down about 40 feet from that sloping passage until it diverts off here to the west, or continues down a sloping area here to the south. So you can go west or
Sloping
south.
down or up?
Down.
Okay.
So let's send our stealth guys down there and give
To the south?
see if we can see or hear anything in either direction.
Okay. You're talking going south, right? Or are you sending them both one in each direction?
Yeah, well, to the intersection, and then we can hear and see if we, if we got anything either direction, and then we'll go that way.
Okay. You
Well, I
can.
think weren't you already assuming we had gone to the intersection?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that isn't assuming that you haven't listened here. So you can both make awareness checks if you want to.
Okay.
I think isn't that Bink and
Locke.
Yeah, Bink got a 1.
Locke
Okay.
got an 8, which is the same as his awareness. So.
Okay.
Made it.
You don't really hear too much. Bink, you're able to pick up what sounds like water coming from the south. And you also get a sense of like I don't know, a taste of rot coming from the west.
I say we go south.
Take water over rot any day.
Uh-huh.
All right. You set up then in your order and continue to move down. And you pick up a couple little bones here. And eventually this turns into it turns again to the west. And you can see more bones here, and then what looks to be a watery pool. If you want to investigate it, that's an awful lot of bones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The dwarf's gonna take a look at the bones and see if he can see what kind of bones, the human bones, goblin.
All right. You move in closer, crunch through and take a look at a couple of the bones. You would say the bulk of them, you would say are humanoid, but there might be some humans or other races mixed in here, as if maybe this was some kind of body depository or something like that. Maybe because you've encountered torture chambers and stuff here. Obviously, they're evil agents, so if people had died, they could have been disposed of here. And you do note that the bones, however, have been definitely snapped and cracked by something. They're not intact like they've been nibbled by rats or anything like that.
Yeah,
And I
hoping you were
assume
gonna
when
say
you're
they
when
were-
you're taking a look at it, you're not approaching the water. So
No.
Yeah.
Could be the work of ghouls or worse.
or worse. You don't know. You can send the light over the water if you want to, Bitsy, because it does have a 20-foot range away from you. So
Yeah, we'll do that Dumbledore style. Send it out over the dark water.
all right, it travels over here, illuminating a larger room with a pretty deep set well in it, and begins to shimmer across the water here as it does so. You pick up more bones all around it. Maybe something on the far side that glitters like gold or such. And as it floats over this dark surface, you do see a little bit of a ripple before there's a large explosion of water, and a massive
I knew that was coming.
crayfish comes bursting out of the water, snapping at things close to your direction, but it will allow for an init since you guys stayed back far enough away from it. It's got to get to you, but so we can assume that the party is here mostly by the door. As it's about 15 feet, we can take the first 4 people are probably holding that, maybe. So that'll be Locke, Grok, Mia, and Bink, your fighters, and then behind them Bitsy, Darn, and Siren, your spellcasters and bowmen. But I'll take your first inits, so roll them up. We'll go Locke first. What do you got?
Rock got a 9.
Okay.
6 + 3.
Grok.
Grok got a 4 + 1 is 5.
Okay. Mia,
10.
Bink.
Wow, 13.
Wow. The gnome is fast. Bitsy.
I'm now at +4 in it.
Jeez.
Bitsy got a 4.
Darn.
Do I have an initiative modifier?
I don't believe so. I think you're just straight up, Darn. Just a
That'd
D10.
be a solid 1.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
Siren got. You guys are both shocked by this massive crawfish about the size of a wagon comes busting up out of the water, and you take a stumbling step back with the elf.
We need a giant bucket of butter.
Right. And it gets a it's slow over. So first person that's gonna go then would be Mia if she wants to bring her broadsword to bear against this monstrous beast.
I figured Bink could get it with the 13.
Oh, he did. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bink. Yeah, with
But
13.
is this thing coming up onto the?
Yeah, it's shambling up onto the rocks. It's moving right in your direction, snapping at you with 2 huge crab claws. Or
Okay, I'm gonna do the push kick and just lay into this thing.
so
'Cause
you're
I don't-
now you're
'cause
so
I
you're
don't
out
think
for the
my-
you're out for the next 2 rounds after that one. But yeah,
But that's 3 dice of damage, right?
3 dice of damage, assuming you hit. Yeah.
I mean, does everybody agree? I don't think lights are gonna. hurt
Yeah,
this
you
thing.
best do as much amount of
You can
damage.
Yeah.
see
as
it's got a
possibly
pretty
can.
heavy shell.
Yeah, I
I
don't think I'm
kinda
gonna
figured
hurt it
that.
any other way.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right, here goes. A 4. What's its DT?
4.
Shouldn't matter.
So you still hit it.
Yeah, still hit it. All right, this +4 now. Oh man. 5, 10, 14 on
It's still a
3d10 plus
wound,
4.
but yeah, you can see the gnome takes a leap forward and comes out with a snap kick right into the thing's little maw. It's doing this little thing, and it spits out some goo from it. But then he falls to the side and comes up kind of
Humbles.
odd, trying to right
Yeah.
himself after that kick. Clearly out of it.
That was crap rolls.
Yeah, it
2,
happens.
3, 5.
Now it's Mia.
Just gonna do a standard attack
All right.
with the A4. So I beat it by 5.
Yeah.
Five and 5, so that's 10 plus 2, yeah. 12 points.
That's another wound. Clang! You can see she brings her broadsword forward, slashes it, and takes off one of its minor legs. It shifts to the side a little bit, obviously, and lets out a squeal of pain from that one as the broadsword bites deeply and kind of falls back a little bit toward the pool. The next person to go is Locke, the halfling.
I'm going to attempt a stealth to try and get along the side of it. So next turn I can
Give it
get a sneak attack, because otherwise I really can't hurt it. So
Yep.
a 2, which I assume will do it with a 9 stealth.
Yep. So you slip around into the shadows away from where the reflection of Bitsy's light is coming off the water, and think you've got a pretty good shot next round of getting into its tail area if there's a place between its chin and armor that you can get into. Then it drops to I think at a 6. It's the next person to go. That's right before Grok.
Yep, Grok got a 5.
So now there's only 3 people up front. That's Grok, Mia, and Bink. We'll see who it's going for. Snapping at you with its big claws. Bink is the person and
No.
Bink, you are at -2 for using a push on your DT
So my DT's 2.
for this round. So it snaps at him after he hit it right in the mouth and gets a 2. So it grabs him with one of its
That would have hit
claws.
anyways.
Ugh. But it only does 11 points.
Nice.
Now it
Gee, is
snaps
that
at you,
all?
but you're able to get away from it. It just knocks you back into that wall a little bit, dazed and confused. And then it goes to Grok, the big half orc with his 2-handed
All
sword.
right, Grok's gonna take a swing. What's a DT, please?
4.
So I need a 5 or less,
That's everybody. at this
and
point.
I got a 5 exactly. I don't know if you can see that or not.
That's all right. Yep, you got it.
7, a 5, that's 12, and an 8 is 23 points.
Good hit.
Yeah, he puts the sword directly through its small head that's kind of peeking out of its shell armor, and it gives out a sickening squeal and then falls back and slides half into the pool, leaking fluid as it does so.
Like that place right there between their little bulby eyes.
Right to the holy eye. The half orc slays it. And
Nice.
Yeah, so I was thinking they definitely don't just throw bodies here, but if they did, that meant the water was like really like poisonous or something. So it's either nasty poison water or something's eating them.
Yeah, I figured they're feeding something.
Yeah.
right.
So we collect ourselves a little bit. Is anything else coming up to the surface?
No, there is not. And it just lays there in its stinking reek.
Let's go around to looks like the left side is where the gold stuff was sort of shining.
Yep.
Let's head that way,
you can,
but
you can begin to search the room. Obviously, everybody here has awarenesses, so you're kind of looking at stuff around the area. You pick up 19 gold pieces, 30 silver, 17 copper. There is a rusted longsword in the southwest edge of the pool, and near that there's a platinum pin set with a ruby. You can make a appraise if you want to try to get a value on that.
okay.
I have gem collecting if that would help.
Yeah, it gives you the ability to do a mental test for an appraisal as well.
Yeah, I got a 2 on my appraise.
I got a 10. No.
he thinks that's a shit. That's the worst ruby he's ever seen. Who is it? Is it Bink that's got appraise?
No, Bitsy has
Oh,
appraise.
Bitsy insists. The dwarf and the gnome are arguing about the value of this. She says it's got to be worth 2,000 gold pieces.
She
says
says,
it's
no,
fake.
you're right. This is worthless.
She takes it. But eventually I think she convinces him that there is value to this piece, more than he thought. But and otherwise, you do see kind of shimmering at the bottom, close to the edge of one of these things in the water. There looks to be some sort of bone tube, perhaps. The light
Oh, like
of
a
the,
scroll tube.
but you'd have
Is-
to get down into the water to get it.
Is there any sense from the top how deep down it is?
No. You would assume with this thing's size, probably pretty deep, and that's not to say that there isn't some kind of tunnel away from, as
Uh-huh.
well.
Let's tie a rope around the orc and let him fetch it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Darn.
I love that idea.
I like that.
Dig that idea.
I'm excited to be a part of this plan.
I'll take Bink and throw him into the water. Rock.
Little ones make better bait anyway.
I might not even be able to
Grok
do
will
it.
go in after it. He'll try and get it.
Okay. Are you attaching a rope to him just in case?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. All right. It's slippery. The water is definitely kind of fetid from the marshes. That must be what feeds into this. But nothing really, affects you as you go in. You have to get pretty much covered in the salty grime of it, but you're able to come up with a sealed scroll case. You can see it has little markings on it. Obviously, it's of some value.
Well, I'll open it up and see if I can read it.
You take a look at it. You can see that there is a heavy dimensional bending scroll in it, and also a medium solo strike spell with an area effect addition. So basically, you have a medium area effect spell for medium damage, and a dimensional bending heavy is basically a dimension door. So 60 or 80 feet, I think, on that.
Mhm. Now, I don't know what the rules are with scrolls. Can I cast anything from the scroll, or do I have to be the appropriate
As long as
level
you have
still?
casting, you're good to go.
Okay, cool.
So the anybody with casting can do that. So Darn could cast them, Siren could cast them. Yeah.
That's sorcery and witchcraft. Somebody else can take that.
Darn doesn't like it. more
Trust
to,
in mortaring, not in sorcery and witchcraft.
and that is all you find here.
Is there anything to the north?
No, it's just
Stops and comes
it's
back.
just an empty area here.
So let's go back the way we came and go to the west where it stinks.
Okie doke. You begin marching back. You still have
I'm going to take one of these things' claws and kind of try to get it halfway on my back. That'll be good eating when we get back to town.
You chop one of those things.
Yeah.
All right, you chop that off, secure it, and have got that in your pack. Then it's
As
got
big
a
as big as it is, it's probably a +1 shield on his back.
well, he's got a shield too. It's got a bit of a ripe smell to it, but you've got it there with you. And then you begin your journey down this hall. And just to remind everyone, I know we've got 3 people currently have physical wounds, correct?
Yeah, 2 of mine do, and
And then
Bink
Bink
does.
just
Bink.
got one. So we do have 3 people that are wounded, just so everyone remembers that one, that aren't burn wounds, I should say.
Let me heal everybody up before we move on.
Yeah.
So how many?
Yeah, you've got.
I can
yeah,
heal
you've
one
got-
person per CCV, right?
Yeah, for a light.
one
That's
wound.
one wound. Yeah,
Okay. How many people wounded total?
3.
All right, plus myself, I have a wound, I believe.
But your wound is a burn wound. It can't be healed.
Okay, how many wounds can I heal?
3. There are 5
All right.
wounds total. 3 of them can be healed.
I will call down the blessings of Moradin and heal the 3 people that can be healed of their wounds.
All right. So we'll try it first. So you have to roll for each one. First one we'll take is Locke, the halfling. It's a D10 for each.
A 9. So my mental is 8. My casting is an 8. That's not doing it.
That's not doing it. But
Next
that is
one.
still CCD. This will be on Grok if you want to try it.
A 2. That one's doing it.
So Grok's healed.
Croc is fully healed. Yeah.
That's the half orc barbarian.
And an 8. And that should be doing it.
Yep, because you've only got 1 wound, so you're okay. You don't have a full negative. So
Okay,
Bink,
I'll
you-
cast one more for the one that failed.
Yes, you can, for sure.
5. That does it.
Okay, so
Alright.
you've spent 4 CCV.
Yes, I'm at 9 now.
Okay. And so you've healed that up and you begin moving down this hall. It goes down 50 feet
Well,
until it turns, moving up 30 feet. I assume you're keeping your light in front of
The
you.
light ahead, yeah.
And then it turns again, moving down 40 feet. The smell is getting more and more vile as you move down through this area. And then comes here.
Do we want to stop here and try to sneak up?
You could.
Let's see what we can smell, I guess.
So Bink and
Bink and
Locke
Lock.
will move up. The monk and the thief.
that's definitely not Grok. He just got a bath.
I got a 1.
A salt bath. I don't know. It's helpful.
Yeah.
Smells like
I
a
was
wet
gonna say,
dog.
Croc probably is not real happy over. Locke got a 2, so he's got a 9 stealth. So
All right. Then you move up and see a chamber. Now the light, I assume you're keeping back, correct? You're
Yeah.
not sending up with them.
Yeah.
So both of you need to make awarenesses once you get up here because it is very dim.
awareness is
Um,
8.
What is my awareness?
I got a 6.
I
Okay.
got it right on a 5.
All right, you can make out a 20-foot wide room that is about 40 feet long. From what you can see just at this edge, you would say that there are crypts buried into the wall of this chamber, and then it goes beyond your line of vision past 40 feet to the west.
We may find those ghouls yet.
Yep.
Well, I say we go back and tell them what we smell.
Okay. You slide back, informing the others of what you've discovered.
Dead things.
Were they bodies in the crypts? Were they caskets? Did you
We
see the
couldn't-
bodies?
We couldn't tell. It was too dark.
Right. They saw crypts. So you would assume caskets are in there, but they couldn't see bodies from for the position they were at.
And as wet as it
Mhm.
is down here, whatever's in there is just going to be putrefied. So you want me to send the light down ahead of us? See if it stirs anything?
And I heard,
Yeah, you can send it down.
And by the way, since we might be going up against ghouls, who took that? Was it the ring last time?
It was a periapt. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's going to be important. So someone needs to have that on.
Who do you want to
don't-
give it to?
I was gonna say, I don't think we distributed anything.
We didn't.
What does it do?
It's a periapt of
No, it's phylactery of action.
I'm sorry, phylactery, but yeah, so it's of action. So you cannot be held or paralyzed if you wear it. And it has to be like bound to your arm.
I say we give it to Grok.
He only gets an attack every other round though.
Oh,
Yeah, it'd be better to give it to Mia if that were the case.
Yeah, I might give
You're
it to
wanting to
Mia.
fight
That
her.
might be your better choice. She's pretty
Okay.
tough. And she's always getting attacked every round. All right, Mia, you want to bind that to your arm?
Sure.
and we gave Bitsy the staff of striking, right? In case she
Right.
gets hit with
Right.
melee. But that's the only items like that we use that we got.
Yeah, there wasn't a vast amount of magic for sure.
Yeah, mostly just gems.
Did you say that was an amulet of
No, it's a phylactery.
Mm-hmm. Phylactery of action.
okay.
All right. So you begin to move up. The light comes in here and you see bones. Look at the bones.
Look at the bones.
Death comes on great big pointy teeth.
And as you can see, there are crypts and tombs in this area. And you move into it. As you do, you're here where my hand cursor is. You start to move in. The light really shining in this area here, but obviously it drifts out into shadow in this area. But you do see four things moving through those shadows, drawn by the light and kind of hissing as they come.
Here's a crazy idea. Why don't I keep the light there and keep us back in the dark and just try to hit them at range?
You could. You also have a cleric with you. He could try a turn.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, we haven't done it.
You've got Firebrand of Faith, do you not?
I do have Firebrand of Faith. I was
Yeah.
just pulling that up to read it.
Yeah, it allows you the
Ability
ability
to turn
to
on dead.
turn. So if anything that you want to affect up to your experience level. So are you third?
I am.
So you could affect 3 of the 4 with a turn, and then you make a casting check against them as an attack spell. And you do, if you're third level, you do 2d10 against anything that you successfully hit a turn with.
Okay. Hey, I got a quick question.
Sure.
Firebrand of Faith gives me +1 casting value with heal spells. A 9 would have moved my +1 would have moved my
Oh,
casting from 8 to a 9. Can I get a CCV back?
absolutely. Yep.
Thank you.
Nice
All
call.
right, so I'm back to 10. All right, I will pull out my holy symbol and call down the blessings of Moradin and push these things back into the darkness from whence they came.
All right, so you pull that up. You can see the 3 closest to you. You're obviously a light kind of shines out from the holy symbol, flashing into them. We'll see what happens there. The one that you do not hit with it, we'll say he's up here along this northern side. It begins to skitter around Bitsy's light, rushing for an attack.
Ugh.
So we'll see what happens with it. That'll be just a standard in it, but you do get the turn check. So make your 3 castings. So we'll do the first casting. Let's see what you got.
6.
Okay, so that's going to hit. I need your damage for that. 2d10.
9.
9. Where are these bastards? You can see some of its flesh gets flayed off of it. Obviously it's still alive, but it hisses, and then just stumbles forward, still trying to get to you.
Okay,
Okay.
next one.
Yep.
3,
That's a success. 2d10.
and that is 14.
That
I'm
you,
sorry.
you see it just absolutely blows it away. It just explodes.
It's not 14. It's 5.
What's that?
It's 5, not 14.
Oh, then it does nothing to it. Instead of being blasted into oblivion, it's fine. Then the third one.
2 and 14.
That one gets blasted into oblivion. All right, so you blasted one of them. One of them is seemingly unaffected, just keeps stumbling through your light, and another one sloughs off some of its flesh and continues to move forward. So we'll take it from there. It'll be just a straight up a knit to see what happens next. So Locke.
Locke gets a 7, a 4 plus 3.
Okay.
Grok gets a 7, 6 plus 1.
Mia.
4.
Okay. Bink.
6.
Okay. And we'll just do yeah, Bitsy.
2.
Darn.
I'll hang back with a 3.
Okay. And Siren gets a 6. All right. And the ghouls, they come up with 7s. So it's actually going to be Locke, you're first. There's a wounded one and 2 unwounded ones left.
I'll go after the wounded one.
You scream with your dagger and charge forward at it. The dagger flaming off.
What's their DT?
Their DT is 2.
So I need a 6 or less, and I got a 3, so I hit. And I do 1d10 plus 2. 5 plus 2, 7.
You end up you kill it, the one that he had half blasted with his holy might. Then it is Grok's. There are 2 unwounded ones.
He'll go after one of the unwounded ones.
Okay.
2, that will hit. And he does 2. 5 is 7. And 8 is 15. 18 points.
Yeah, you cut its head off.
Grok.
Send the body sprawling. And then it is the last one. It runs into your number there. Let's see who it attacks. It's going after Mia. Lucky her. At least she's got the resistance on. And it slashes at you and gets a 3, so that's going to hit. And it does medium with its claws. It only does 5, but you do need, well, you don't even need to make a save because you got the phylactery on, so you're okay.
Okay.
So it slashes against her leather armor, but that just resists the damage. And then its chilling touch cannot affect her with the phylactery on. So then it goes to Bink. Okay.
10.
What'd you get, a 10?
10.
Yeah.
I'm just hitting air.
He tries a couple moves on it, but it just watches him and it hisses. He was a little too spooked by it. Then the next person to go is Siren. He goes at 6. He'll fire an arrow into one and hits it with a 5 and puts it right in its beak. Down it goes. 16 points.
Nice.
And it falls.
Is there
Well
any other
done,
movement?
Master Dwarf, says the elf as he looks down his long nose at you.
Dwarves.
All right. So that this then opens up into a larger chamber.
Who's buried here? Humans?
With more crypts. It looks like it, yeah.
All right.
Do you want to search them? God, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of crypts. for only 4 of these things that you're able to see. You can search through the area, and you find that down here there is a entrance to a that's been kind of burrowed out, you would assume, by the ghouls, who love to burrow.
So
If you want to follow it through.
if there are more ghouls, they're probably this way.
Right. And as you search through these areas as well, as everybody has search, up to the north, you find another one. And but this tunnel is not, it looks to be more man-made than cavernous.
And these are the only 2 ways to go.
Yep.
North or south?
Let's go
Is
south.
there anything valuable in any of the coffins and crypts?
Not that you can find. You search them all pretty well, and it's just bones. Or they're
I'm going
empty.
to consecrate them after each search.
Okay. You say a prayer over them, take some of your wine skin and toss out a little bit onto them to make sure that the area is consecrated. So what do you guys think? You've got 2 ways, a burrow or a man-made.
I say we go the burrow, just
I
so
agree with that.
we don't have anything coming up behind us.
Okay.
All right. You move into a burrow. Here you can see everything in here is very foul and damp. And it's only about 5 feet high, which works for most of you, but not all of you.
Rock not happy.
But it leads to a noisome den where a heap of bones and skulls look to have been made by the ghouls. There you go. And I assume you're doing a search there.
Yeah.
You find 800 silver pieces, 7 vials of holy water, matter of fact,
Nice.
a potion, and a scroll.
Okay.
Anybody with casting can make an awareness check on the scroll or the potions if you're trying to make some.
I got a 2.
Okay. The one of the potions, you would identify it probably as some kind of undead control or a charm for the dead. That would be the potion. And the other one is it's a wound threshold ward, but it's specific to the dead. So
Like a protection from undead scroll.
that would be correct. Yeah. So it
Now that can raise your. Oh, it's a wound threshold.
wound
okay.
threshold. Yeah.
I
so
thought it
it's-
was defense threshold.
right. But if it was defense, it could raise it higher than 4. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
What does the holy water do?
It's used in consecrations or stuff like that, but you assume if you throw it at the dead, it would have
Does damage on them?
it would do damage on it, probably light damage for each vial.
I'll take a couple of those. I'll take two vials of the holy water.
Sure.
And I'll just put the scroll in the tube with the other scrolls.
Okay. And what about the potion?
I guess I can hold on to that too. My casting is 8, so
All
and
right.
I'm always in the back, so
True enough. All right. You begin to kind of search through this. I mean, this is a big den in here, but then it goes off in this direction and just continues to tunnel around deeper and deeper, going in many different ways and getting smaller as it does until it's very quickly almost gnomish and halfling size, even a little tight for a broad dwarf. If you want to continue to following it, I mean, it looks like they're just digging now.
I say we just go back.
You're not sure
Yeah.
where they're going.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we realized too, the ghouls wouldn't be able to get much further. Yeah, they're human size, so.
Well, unless they're crawling like dogs, which they do when they
Yeah.
dig. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good down here.
Okay. In the darkness. All right. Where are we? So you head up through this secret passage. It moves up to the north. Quite some distance.
Wow, I was gonna say it's pretty freaking long.
Definitely long. Jeez Louise.
It went a ways.
All right.
We're in Hommlet again.
Did I close that map
Maybe.
by accident? Oh, what a pain. All right. That's what happens when you're scrolling up for an hour. Okey doke. You back? Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Turns and eventually pops up inside a pillar.
Ah,
Ta-da!
okay.
You have been here before. This is the torture chamber. And leads to the cell chambers. So you recognize this. This is where you
We're back.
fought the zombies,
Yeah, we're back almost to the entrance.
right?
And
so-
that's, is that all we had? Or did we still needed to go to the
There was
north?
a north, yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So
there's a secret entrance.
moving
We're
to the
close
north.
to the north.
this would be the 24 this is the room of the ogre that you fought. Then there was the secret door
That we went through.
that you went through. Down these steps. There's the secret door that Mark found to
And detrapped.
detrap.
How much coin are we carrying? Can we carry much more, or are we full? We got a
Most
lot
of what you
more?
have is honestly gems, so you're
Yeah,
okay at the moment. You've
Yeah,
got
the coin isn't
Okay.
much.
I mean, we just collected a few hundred coins.
right. I mean, I think we got 800 silver on that last one, so it depends on if we want to jettison some of that silver, but it wasn't a lot of gold. How
Yeah,
much?
just
How
my
much
gem.
loose silver, or how much loose silver do we have?
Loose silver is okay. So 46, 0.
Brent math.
1,000 silver even.
Even. So we got 100 pounds worth of silver broken up amongst 7 people.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. We're still okay. All right.
I assume we probably didn't even bother with the copper.
Yeah.
No.
All right. And this continues to move up. And as it does so, and you make this turn here, you can see there is a torchlit chamber beyond 20 feet to the east. And you can hear the sounds of grumbling in some kind of goblin speech or a black speech of some type, but you can't really identify it. But it is deep voices. Doesn't sound like goblins, that's for sure.
Ugh.
Bugbears or hobgoblins, maybe.
I was thinking hobgoblins.
pipe hitting ones no matter what. But we're currently in the dark.
Well, no, you've got your light up, but you can see that there is light in that room, in the chamber beyond. So it's not like your light is making a difference.
Okay. I say we pull back down around to the south and cause some kind of commotion so we can at least get them funneled into the hallway. Because I mean, if there's like 20 friggin' hobgoblins in there, we're dead. I mean, we gotta at least be able to fight them, a couple at a time.
So how do you want to set a defense there?
20 feet across. That's a pretty good
That
distance.
the hall is actually, I mean, it's in this map, these are listed at 5-foot blocks.
A 10 foot.
So it's 10 foot across. Yeah.
So do you want to put Mia and Grok, and then after Grok goes, Bink can fill in, and then Grok can come back, and then Bink can fill in, and then Grok can come back?
Yeah, you can do that. You're just and then you put I don't know, Bitsy and Darn behind him if you need spells or healing.
I was gonna say I would put Darn in
Yeah.
the second row. That way he could heal anyone.
Right, if need be.
Yeah, because we can have 2 in the second row.
Right.
Yeah,
So
so let's
don't-
do
so-
that.
So who is it in the second row? Darn and who?
Bink, because he'll move up every time Gronk goes out.
So the question to you, Darn, is if they're moving you into that second row and they're your primary purpose is going to be healing, are you stowing your shield for currently?
Well, I can heal at 10 feet, can I?
Yeah. A light one you can actually heal at 20 feet, and a medium you can heal at 40 feet.
Is there somebody better served in the second row than me? If I can heal, I can reach the first row with my heals.
Can
And you
Siren get a
you can
shot?
also do an area effect heal if you needed to. So
Yeah, if we put Siren in the second row, could he take shots with his bow?
sure.
Okay.
Especially if you've got, I mean, he could shoot around Mia. The
Yeah.
big Grok would be more difficult, but he could definitely shoot around her.
Locke will hold the back. Along
Okay.
with Bitsy, I assume.
Yeah.
And then Darn will just be ready to cast, but so your shield's on your back at this point. You're ready to do
Yeah.
healings if need be. Got it. All right, you can start clanging around, making some noise.
Throw
Anything
like some silver down the hall or
right,
something.
to draw attention. And finally, you hear an argument, and then you can hear the movement and clink of armor and leather moving up this hall until coming into your midst, you can see as a gang of bugbears.
Ugh, bugbears.
I love bugbears though.
They're neat, but man, they can be mean.
They can be mean. There's nothing fun about fighting them, I can tell you that.
First
All
edition
right,
bugbears
so,
are just mean looking.
I mean, obviously you've alerted them, so they're prepared for anything. So it'll be just a knit between Grok and Mia. And then I'll take Siren. He'll go last as he fires his bow out there. But so we'll take those
10 plus 1, 11 for Grok.
Grok.
What Mia got was 11.
Okay.
You both are just sitting there ready to swing when they come around the corner.
And they get 5. So we'll take Grok first, since he's in line here. Swings his
Grok
massive.
got a 5. He's got
they
a 9.
Yep, they got a DT of 3, so you're good.
And I do 1, 7, that's 8. And 5 more is 13 plus 3, 16.
Damn it, your +3 killed him. I was like, yeah, you're only gonna lose.
That was a crap roll for me.
All right, you drop 1 with a massive strike, blasting him back into his friends. They all howl in rage. Mia, you've got your broadsword forward, and you can slash at another one that had come into range.
All right. With a 2, so that hits.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I'll even wound it. 2, 3, that's 5, 7 points.
Nothing. You can see his tough hide and his armor resists your broadsword.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Another one takes the place of the one that Grok hit, and they slam into your midst. And let's see what happens. The first one, this one on Mia, missed her. One on Grok, missed him. So last person to go, Siren's going to fire an arrow out from behind at one of them. Hits with a 2 and does 17 points, killed one right in the neck.
Nice.
Starts spurting blood everywhere as it falls backwards into its brothers, trembling around on the floor before it finally goes quiet. And then it goes back to Grok. You don't get an action.
I don't get an attack.
Bink got
Mia,
no, Bink comes up.
he can't come. I mean, they don't. You would only come up if they fall back, like if they
Yeah.
need an assistant or they don't want to be in that front line. See what I'm saying?
I was kind of hoping to go between his legs.
Well, you can make an acrobatics roll, but you're going to put yourself in the midst of the 4
Yeah,
remaining.
okay. I'll hang back then.
Right. It's up to you. I mean, you can, it's just you're trying to hold a
Might
line
as well
with the
wait
heavy
and
armor.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Grok can't go because he has a heavy weapon.
So
Mia,
it's Mia.
Got a 3. That's a 8, 10 points.
that's a wound.
Crap
Ah,
damage.
You'll pay for that. Little minx, I'll chew your bones. The next and then it's there. So one on Mia. That hits. You can see it brings a big cleaver sword into play and does 12 points. Bashes down on you. She sidesteps it, but still crushes her into a wall a little bit as she tries to parry it away with her sword. The one on Grok,
Grok.
3 hit him too. This one buries an axe in you for 14.
That is 1 wound.
And then Siren is going to fire from the back. 7, that misses. Fires an arrow, but you can see a couple of them have bucklers up and it pings off of one of those. And then it'll go back to the top of the order unless Darn wants to do a heal now, or you want to. Both people took wounds that time, so it's up to you.
How many more bugbears are there?
They're 4.
Yeah,
4
let me cast
total or
heal.
4 behind these 2?
4 total.
Okay.
I'll cast the heal.
Are you going to cast an area effect, or are you going to just heal one person?
How many CCVs would an area effect cost me?
Depend. I mean, if you're doing a light, it only costs you 2. So it's 1 for the light, 1 for area effect, because you double your light.
Right.
So it's 2, and then 1 for each individual. So 4. It will cost you 4 CCV to get them both.
Okay, so I'm only going to heal 1.
Okay. Which one?
Who's
Mia
Who's
or-
wounded?
Mia and Brock.
Heal Mia. I've got 1 extra wound.
Yeah,
so.
What's Mia? A fighter? A human
She's,
fighter?
she's
Yes.
basically a fighter. Yeah.
And what's
she's
the
a-
other one?
I'm
He's
the
a
half
half orc
orc.
barbarian.
Oh, definitely human fighter.
The girl.
Actually, I'm not healing anybody. That's a 10.
Okay. But
Yeah,
it still
just
costs you the CCV.
Still
but
cost. Okay.
right.
All right. So I'm at 9.
Because you don't have a 10 is an auto fail, so it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah. So you try to heal, but your prayers go unanswered. Then it goes back to the top of the order, Grok.
Who gets to attack now?
Yes, he does.
And I got a 4, which will hit. 10.
He's done.
9. 29,
Yeah.
32 points.
Yeah.
That's almost max damage.
Just buries him. Blood spews all the way to the ceiling. Boom. Exploding
Fountain of
bags
blood.
of blood. is
Like
what I like to
Nightmare
call
on Elm Street.
it. Mia, you've still got your wounded guy on you. You can attack again.
That'll hit with a 4. That'll do better. It's 13 and 2, 15 points.
He's done. Leaving 2 left, but they do jump in against you 2. The first one against Mia, 2. Hit her. And does 17 points. Jesus.
Ow.
Boom.
Just 10,
Slams
still-
her back.
Still only 1.
almost takes you over off your feet. How did that do 2 wounds or 1?
Just one. Because I'm at
Wow,
9.
17 is now only 2.
I'm at 9, so it takes 10.
And at 19 is what it takes
Yeah.
to get you there. Wow. And
Nice, Joe.
against Grok, 5 missed you. Climb, climb. And
Grok.
then Siren fires an arrow and hits with a 4. And does 10 points, gets wounds 1. And then it's back to top of the order. Grok, you don't get an attack.
Nope.
Mia, there's a wounded one with an arrow in him if you want to attack him.
Can you close the door?
Sure, I'll try that one. That's a 5 to
Nothing
hit,
like,
so that
"Hi,
hits.
how are you? I missed you. Close the fucking door. Get it?
Oh, there we go. 15 points.
He did kind of deserve that, Brent.
He's done. You finish him off. And then it is his attack against Grok. And he hits him
Ouch.
for 13 points.
1 wound. But that puts me at -1.
Clank. Drives you back a step. Siren hits with a 3 and does 12 points, 1 wound. Darn, do you want it? Grok has 2 wounds now, and Mia has 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Did you eat?
Mhm.
Oh.
2 out of 3.
I
Yes,
think,
she is 2 out of 3.
yeah, and Grok has
Yeah.
4 wounds, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's try. Let's
Remember,
try
you can
single-
cast a medium if you want to and heal 2 wounds.
and that costs 2. So,
That's correct.
all right, let me try that. Takes me down to 7 CCV. I'll do a medium on Mia
Okay.
with a 2.
All right, Mia, you're healed.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And then it goes back to Grok and Mia, both on a wounded guy. He's looking around, dragging his leg a little bit. He knows he's in trouble.
What's his DT?
3.
Missed. I got a 7.
He wards that
With
one
my
away.
wound, I
That's you, Mia.
can't hit
All
him.
right, Mia. That's a 2, so that's not getting away from her.
He blocks high and stops the big blow, but Mia slips in beside him and runs her broadsword into his side.
9 and
Oh,
4, 15 points. I think that's third 15 I've
he
got.
falls over dead. And everyone breathes heavily.
Yeah, can you imagine those 8 bugbears surrounding like 2 people? We'd be done.
Yeah. Start wailing away on somebody, that hurts. All right. Darn, do you want to deal out any more healing here? Or are you good?
Who's left? Just the half orc has wounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got
Yep.
2 on him. Yeah.
The All-Father wouldn't smile upon me healing this scurvy monster. It's just one step up from a bugbear.
Grok!
I'll do it this once, but don't anybody tell anyone that this has transpired. I'll do a medium heal
He's got a reputation to uphold.
with a 6, so that does it. And I go down to 5 CCVs. And
And
half
you've got
orc gets 2 wounds.
And Grok
Yeah, you
is
got-
healed. Woohoo!
All right. So, are you moving up through this this room here?
I assume the light's still there.
Yeah, because it's torch lit.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what the bugbears had.
The bugbears on them. You can see the leader of them, you would assume, had 12 gold pieces on. Well, each of them had 12 gold pieces, I should say. And the leader
Yeah.
also had a silver necklace with 5 little gems on it. You guys can make another appraisal on that if you choose to.
How many bugbears total were there?
6. in
Oh,
total.
that's a mental check. 8, I pass.
Okay.
3. I got it.
All right, you two look over this necklace and you would put it at probably 450 gold pieces in total. Including the silver and the 5 gems within it.
Bitsy pats Darn on the shoulder up here and says, "See, now you're getting it. Now you're getting it."
How insult! These stupid
Oh.
little-
You may dig them out of the ground, but we are the ones who usually carve them.
And
Let's not get out too big for our britches there, gnome.
all
As gnomes
right,
are wont to do.
God, this is a big room.
it is a huge room. I mean, remember these are 5-foot blocks, so 5, 10,
But
15,
still,
30 feet deep. It has 3 doors in it, all of them going to the
east.
east. And then it also has a hallway leading north.
Let's go south because that's the closest to where we've been.
Southern door.
Southern
Yeah.
door. Okay,
Southern man.
you opening it, lock?
Can I make a criminal first to see if there's any traps?
Sure could.
Oh, that's Grok. I have an 8 in criminal, and I got a 9. So no, I did not find any. If there were any there,
You do not find anything on this door. You do move through it, however, and it is just a 10-foot by 10 or 10-foot by 10-foot square room. Nothing in it.
Let's check the one above it. Maybe it's the same
Can-
thing.
Can we tell what it was purposed for? Was it like a bed chamber? Like do
It
they
might have
sleep there?
been. It might have been at one time, but it's not in use currently. So now it's just an empty room. It would have worked as a nice, private chamber. You could put a bed in the back of it or a cot, and
probably for some evil elemental priest.
right. But currently it's not in use. But you believe this room is very similar now that you're in it and you're kind of looking around it to the room where the gnolls were that you fought. It had 3 doors. They were all to the south, but it was in a 30 by 20 room, just like this.
So a similar setup.
Yep.
Yeah,
So are
let's
you
do,
checking?
let's
checking
do the door
middle
above it.
Yeah, I'll check the next door. I got an
Okay.
8. That made it.
You see it is trapped, just like the one in the room to the south with the block trap. That's the one that caught you last time. Yeah, doesn't go anywhere. So no use opening that.
Okay.
And then the northern door.
5. So I made it.
And you can see it is another one of these sub rooms, nothing in it.
Okay.
I guess we've got one way left to go then.
Mhm.
North it is.
And it moves up a hall into what looks to be the Bugbear's barracks.
Okay.
But in here as well, you can see anything of value they had on their person. But there are some rather nasty things that one could eat here if you're really inclined to do so, and some spoiled wine and such. But otherwise, it is that is all she wrote.
All right. Well, we'll head back. And
All
that should
right.
leave us with just one more place to go, right?
Nope,
I think
Oh,
that's
that-
it.
But
That's everything.
that is it.
we
You're
could go
getting
back out and go through the
The
ramp
tunnel.
up heading towards the swamp.
Yes, down here.
That way.
We'll do that.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
let's
unless
see.
Brent's opposed to it, or anyone
no,
else
that's
is
fine.
opposed to it.
All right.
Those
You-
friggin' ghouls were digging like mofos.
Tunnels.
Right, aren't
Jesus.
they know what they're doing. All right, you move back into the knoll chamber. Here was the knolls where they lived, but in the knoll chamber, as you're moving through it, moving up towards you in this direction, hissing and moving across the floor at speed are fast zombies. You can
Yeah.
see that there are 6 fast zombies moving up.
Zombies, lovely.
Oh, yes.
So it'll be a new init, folk.
Uh,
Remember,
lock-
Darn, you've got a chance to blast these things if you want to.
All right. Before initiative or after?
Well, you're in the back of the line, so probably it'll be on initiative. So you would have been one of the last
Initiative
people to see him. Is that darn 6?
Darn is 6.
Okay. Locke.
Rock got an 8 plus 3, 11.
Okay. Grok.
Brock got a 6 plus 1, 7.
Mia.
7.
Bink.
9,
Bitsy.
2.
And Siren got a 6. What he got last time. All right. And the fast zombies target 7s. So, first person to go then would be Locke, who's leading the party, so they're closest to you. Do you want to try to attack one of the zombies or try to peel back to get away from them?
I'm gonna try and peel back to let the better fighters get in because
Okay.
I don't think I can stealth away from these things.
All right. So then next person to go would be Grok and Mia. I'm sorry, Bink at 9. You could
Okay.
take up Locke's position and attack one of them if you choose
Yeah.
to.
I'll do that.
Okay.
5, I'm sure that will hit them. I've got a 9. So this plus, what's my new plus? My new plus is 3. Oh, max damage, 14. It's the most I can do with my hand.
You do a spin kick, a flying spin kick, and just take his head off. And his body flops down on the ground and crawls for a bit before it lays still. Grok.
Grok will swing at one.
Okay.
Got a 1 and an 8, so I don't.
No crit.
But 3, 7, that's 10, and 6, 16, 19 points.
Slashed one in half. Mia.
Yeah. Got a 6. That hits. 11 points.
And he's done. Boom. Wiped him out. And then it is theirs. So we'll see who these guys are going for as they slam into your midst. The fighter is basically taking ones out in front of them. Darn, you have one on you. One on Grok jumps at his back.
Grok.
And another on Grok jumps at his back. So 2 on
Grok.
them. And they got a 2 and a 5, so the 2 does hit. Probably not going to do any 2 points, so he can't get through your armor. Darn, I got a 6. Is your shield up?
The shield's not up.
Okay, so you've got a DT of 3 that still misses you. You're able to slam him back away from you. And then it is your action. There are 3 left, and you can get all 3 of them if you want to with a turn.
I do, definitely.
Okay.
All right, the first one is a 9, so that's nothing. The next one is a 3, and
Okay.
that does 13 points of damage.
Blasted him. He just erupts in holy flame.
And a 4, so the third one takes 12 points of damage.
Nice.
So you killed the 2 that were on Grok. The one on you kicked away from you, but that put it out of your light for the moment. And then Siren, he'll fire his bow and hits a 1. No crit. But he takes down the one that you kicked away. And they're all dead.
And they're
Allowing
coming from
you-
that door there.
They came up from here.
Yeah.
So where they wandered from, you don't know, but you move down here and then exit. Yeah. Okay. You move out of that dungeon back into the marshlands. You can see off to your west is the moat house that you have already cleared, where you found the bandits. And from that point, you can easily make the trail and make your way back toward Hommlet. You can see the rain has begun again, and it is slowly pouring down on you as you make your way back. It's about an hour from here to Hommlet.
Well, it gives us time to figure out what we're going to give to the two Joe
Burn
Boos.
and Rufus.
Yeah,
Brood and Rufus. Yeah.
as our taxation.
We'll have to let them know about Kreb and Riff being spies as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll interest them.
Along with the damn bard.
Right. Okay. right.
So last time we talked about giving them, what was that?
One of the
1,000
jewels
gold
or something, yeah.
1,000 gold piece gem.
I'd say give them that and then maybe give them the silver.
Yeah, it's a good idea. 1,000 gold piece gem and 1,000 silver.
All right.
Pretty good for them doing nothing but being jerks.
So you move back in on the low road coming toward Hommlet. You know you have to pass the tower, Rufus and Brune's tower, to get into town itself. I mean, obviously it's not stopping you from getting into town, but you have to go past it. You can see lights gleam from the tower, but it doesn't seem to be much activity as night has fallen by the time you get back in and the rain is pouring heavily. So you could move up the butte to the tower and pay them on your way in, or you could just get them in the morning if you want to, because you're all soaking wet.
Let's
And
just
can
hit them up
head
in
to
the morning.
the end of the welcome winch.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking to go to the inn, is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the only one there is, isn't it?
Yes. I got that?
Yep.
The inn of the welcome winch. All right. You move through the town. You can see lights twinkling in many of the windows here as the rain comes down, but you don't hear the distinctive croak of
Clink.
huge frogs, at least
Well,
this time. But you do pull up to the inn and come in the doors. Again, water trailing off your cloaks and travel gear as people do turn towards you. You can see that the Eastern mage is there by the fire. He looks over at you. And you can see several townsfolk are here this evening, even in the rain has brought them out. And you can also see at one table, toward the back of the area here, you can see that there the lady Gowan, Eva Gowan and Sarah Gowan are both at that table, and you can see that they're currently being talked to by Brune and Rufus.
Burn and Rufus.
You can see the lady Sarah has kind of got her cloak pulled up around her, and Brune is leaning far too close to her, seeming to make her uncomfortable. You know, the last time you saw her, she was not in a good place. But her sister looks as regal as ever, as the wizard tries to speak to her. But you can see they, as soon as you walk in, they look away from what they're doing. You see the wizard stands and Rufus stands and moves across the floor towards you, strolling as he does, looking so important. Well, back from the wilds, are we? How is the moat house?
Full of bandits, but they are taken care of now. Including Kreb and Riff, who were spies operating here, evidently.
You can see many of the folk in the bar have an intake of breath. Oh, at the sound that their own woodsman would have been thrown in with bandits. I never trusted those two.
Yeah, of course. Now, they're my good friends. I never trusted those two.
And you can see at the bar is the houseman from the Gowan's estate, the boy. You can see he's giving you a dark look from the bar where he's nursing a tankard, not too happy about seeing you again. Well, says Rufus, if you've come across some of their ill-gotten gains, that should be returned to the town's coffers, don't you think?
What I think is that I should have stout bowl of stew in front of me to ward off this cold and rain, and a dark mug of ale. And a welcoming wench wouldn't be a bad move either. Now, once we have these things tended, we'll talk about dispersing our hard-earned coin.
You can see he looks down at you, rather looking irritated by your talk, but then you can see he seems to give in. Yes, well, of course. Yes. Take your break your fast here. Barkeep, there are those in need of food and drink.
I've got a tongue and it works well enough. Barkeep. I go over there
He
and start
stops
ordering. Put the big claw down on the bar.
Bink is totally following Darn. He's just, I'm with this guy.
What's Bitsy doing?
She'll be with everybody else.
Okay, yeah, all right. You can
He is
see
gonna go take a seat at the fire.
you can yeah, there's one seat open at the fire. You go walking over there, you can see the barkeep looks at you. By all the gods of Orth, what has happened to you, girl?
Just making a living.
You were making a fine living here before you been gallivanting off with them. Now wearing next to nothing, as if you're some succubus drawn out of the very temple of elemental evil itself. You can see he crosses himself. Oh, and he whispers.
I was nothing but a slave here, working for nothing but room and board.
And you had less when you came, but now you talk big, don't you? You seem to have grown a tongue since you've left.
Yes, maybe.
You
I've
can
also
see-
grown a sword. You want to see it too?
Oh, nay, girl, do as you will. Then you can see he goes back to the bar. I have people to serve nonetheless. This fine dwarf.
Well, while you're doing it, get me a meal and an ale.
That's the best part, is she gets to tell him.
And you
You
might
said-
get a tip when you're done.
Rock is gonna walk out in the rain until he gets most of the nastiness off of him.
Well, he's
We're
probably
coming
had
back
it.
in.
He's been walking in the rain an hour.
Well,
He's
An
true.
hour, yeah.
True.
You can see as the bartender and his one serving wench struggle to get food and drink for everybody at one of the tables or the chair where you're at the fire. You can see Brune, who the fighter he gets up from where he was imposing on Lady Sarah, and let's see here where he there he is.
I thought
It
it
is-
was Burn. It's
Is it
Brune.
Burn?
I thought it was, yeah, I wrote
Is it
down
Burn?
Burn.
Okay,
Burn and Rufus.
Burn and Rufus. So Burn gets up,
I
showing
thinking
off
of
his
Burn from
incredible
before.
physique, and walks over to Mia. Well, I haven't seen you here before.
This ought to be good.
You can see he leans casually against the big fire pit, showing and then you can see his muscles ripple underneath his his shirt.
I've seen you plenty of times here.
Nay, I couldn't have missed you. You can see eyes you up in your tight bandit leathers that you now wear.
Well, you didn't see me before. You don't need to see me now.
Oh, don't be so offish, girl. Besides, you seem to know your way around that blade. Perhaps you can join my militia. I can get you out of those leathers and into some better armor.
I'm good with the company I keep.
Grok.
Huh? You snuck up on me, half-orc. Don't do so again, or I'll have to put you in your place.
I'll look down at him and just stare.
You don't
And
have
just stare.
you have influence?
I don't have intimidate.
I do,
man.
though.
Well, I know you do, yeah, but you're just not trying to influence you. Make a mental. You're not gonna make a mental check.
My mental's 5.
Is it? I didn't
Yeah.
think it was that high.
Yeah.
thought it was a
Well, my
2.
resilience is real high. Might no. Just
Oh,
straight mental.
yeah,
Okay.
raw
I thought
mental.
you meant mental save.
No,
Yeah.
your mental abilities too.
My mental's 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And that's after I raised it from the 1 it was. And I got a 1.
Nice.
You can see you glower down at me. And he gulps and finally
He's
goes
very-
walking back off toward the table.
He's
toward the
very
table with
protected of me. I'll reach back and pat him.
with the Gowan sisters.
Grok.
You can see the lady Eva stands up and she walks over to where Siren is at the table and asks
Of course.
asks if she can talk to him for a moment. You can see he stands and goes over to talk to her close to a wall where she seems to be quite fervent about something that she's saying. And he's nodding, but looking offish
Down his
toward her
nose, of
the whole
course.
time as he's done. Yeah.
He's a snobby elf.
Well, he is from Celine.
Yeah. And he's still a snobby elf. Locke is going to sit down, order an ale and some stew and be happy.
All right, you're able to eat, fill yourself, get some mead going on, and enjoy yourself.
Light up my pipe.
And finally get the chill and cold and wet out of your bones. And before you take up rooms, the Eastern Wizard does talk to Mia for a while because you're in front of the fire with him. And he asks about some of the things that, of course, happened in your journey to the moat house or what you found there. He had heard, he's heard many things of evils that might have been perpetrated here. So he's kind of interested in it. But otherwise, the evening then passes without much to do. Siren ends up coming back and sitting at the table, and both the Lady Gowans move off to their room upstairs, and Rufus and Byrne end up going back to probably the
I
tower.
assume we pay them before they leave.
Yeah, of course they take their tithe before they go, but they have very little else to say to you but they seem to look very side eye at you. They don't like any of you at this point. But they do move off into the rain, and then you're able to get some sleep that night. Since you've gotten your burn wound, darn, it would have been 2 days. So you can get that burn wound back in 6 days because you've got a resilience of 4, right?
Yeah.
So just keep track of that. So you've got 4 more days to wait before that wound goes away.
Okay.
Bitsy, though, I think yours is probably back, right?
Yeah, she has a resilience of 7.
Of 7. So get it tomorrow or the next day. After the next day, you would
Yeah.
get that burn wound back because it takes you 3 days. And it's
Okay.
been 2. But you're able to get a good night's sleep. But before you all go off to your rooms that evening, Siren takes out a map that he said was provided him by the Lady Gowan. She said that she had made some contacts with some people in town asking after the bard Sabu Win, and that some had said that he had traveled toward Nolb. And so she went into her father's library and pulled out some of his old maps, and because he had participated, as you know, in the first war against the Temple of Elemental Evil. And she delivered unto him this map, hoping that he could follow Sabu and still retrieve her father's ancestral blade in the town of Nulb if he has indeed gone there. So this is the map that you were given, and it shows some old landmarks where his father had jotted in here: beware evil, danger, evil lurks here, such things.
Was
And
the danger, is that where the moat house was?
House is?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So we can assume that the beware evil is probably the temple.
Which would be halfway between you and Nolb. So you'd have to actually go, you could either go past it on the unused or what used to be the high road, or if you could take the low road and never
Cut
come in
across.
contact with it, but make your way up to Nulb and then go back down to the temple if you needed to through the forest or back down through the low road. It's
Ugh.
about, yeah. So again, up to you how you want to do that, but you can see Siren seems to want to continue on to find this scoundrel who has stolen from the family, the Gowan family.
As does Locke.
Yeah, since Locke, your master was
Yes, a friend
knew,
of
knew the
the
Hargrave
Lord.
Gowan. Yeah, the Lord.
Well, that's part of the story that predates me, so I'll go with wherever they want to go.
So we will go up to Knoll then.
And so you'll take the low road up to Noble.
Right.
And then
On the
back to
morrow,
the
I
gnarly.
assume.
Oh yeah.
All right. Don't. Then you sleep it off, feeling much better and rested the next day. Although the burn rune still nags at both of the spellcasters in their minds.
And then-
Although Bitsy seems to be feeling a bit better. You're still suffering, darn, from the overuse
Fortunately,
of
our
magic.
cleric is hurt.
Then we were gonna run by the gym dealer and break up some gyms and things.
Did we need to at this point? Because
I don't think we need to. I
Or
think
did we already
got
do
enough.
that?
Because
I think
all of
we
our
just-
weight was in the silver.
Yeah, we
Right,
got
so I
got
think
enough.
just using the gems, just keeping them kind of communally, and then we could break them up later. But there's no reason to go at this point.
Okay. I know the golden things we were using as a party fund, so
Right. So, and you assume you can mark this off, Brent. It's probably about 30 gold, all told for the night for eating, rooms and stuff like that at the end.
Okay.
Does anyone want any equipment before we leave?
There is a smithy, obviously.
Yeah, I want to go to the smithy and see what weapons he have, because I may want to get a medium weapon for Grok in case he.
in case he needs it.
Right. In case you need to attack every round.
Right.
It ends up laying on you for sure. So that
Yeah.
So if he's
medium
got
weapons.
like a,
Yeah, Mia, go with
I'll-
you.
I know what I want. I want a mace if he's got one.
Nice.
Yeah. He can definitely give you one. And Mia, you can make another influence check because you know the guy.
Yeah. Shit, her influence is really good. Yeah, her 3 for her for influence. So beat it by 6.
Okay.
So how much is he wanting to charge me? Because I do have my own money.
Right. I'll get you the price here in one moment. You're looking for a mace, you said?
Yeah.
Actually,
Footman's, I assume.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'll see if I can't trade that my old bastard sword in on his new mace.
Do you have an old bastard sword?
Because I've got
Not
the
bastard sword. It was a broadsword.
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 Because remember, I picked up that new broadsword.
That's true. The one that was better
Mhm.
forged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, he'd make that trade. He'd trade you the sword for the mace, straight up.
There you go, Grok.
Thank you.
Return the favor.
All right. And you can see that there is a mist that lies all over the fields here. The rain is stopped during the night, but the clouds are still impressively heavy and they look like they threaten rain at all times. So it's still a grimy day to walk. And the low road is flooded in some areas and definitely covered in mud. Your boots sucking at it the whole time that you walk, slowing your way. From the map, you figure it's probably about 5.5 hours walk to Nolb. With the road and the condition, it might take a little bit longer. But and you'll be moving somewhat close to what would be the temple. Nevertheless, you make the walk.
Dorn is looking around. Is there like a mule or something that he could buy?
Let's see if there's a livery here. There are no stables or no livery, but there are many farmsteads that you can see that there are mules and cows and pack horses and stuff like that they're using on farms throughout their areas. You begin to exit town, so it's possible you could go over and try to make an offer for something. I mean, gold.
I'd like to do that.
Gold makes it happen, so for sure. Let's see, you're looking for a mule. There is you get a farmer that'll part with a mule for 30 gold pieces.
Do I have 30 gold pieces? I don't have
Well,
any
you also
coins.
have influence, do you not? I think that's one of your
Yeah.
primary skills. Yeah, make that.
Yeah, it is. 3.
All right, he'll part one for 15 gold pieces because he has some knowledge of Moradin and knows that he helped assist in the fall of the Temple of Elemental Evil, and he dealt with some dwarves, or his father did back in the day. So,
All right.
and we have party gold, so you just want Brent to mark
Yeah.
that off,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's get a mule and we can carry stuff on it.
right?
We don't have to lug around coin and rations and water.
Of course, the dwarf's looking for a mule. He loves the old mule. All right.
Another 15.
Then you do that before you leave the town, and the mule comes with you. You can name the mule anything you like.
Oh my God. What is this thing doing?
What's up, Brent?
I don't know. My phone keeps going off.
Oh.
Mhm.
All right, you continue to move on up the road with the mule through some of the low hills. You're in the Cron Hills, obviously, so there are hills always on the side of you as the road cuts through, and the hills themselves seem to shed the rain and the mist that comes and goes during the course of the day, always flooding it down into the road, making passage even more difficult and grimy. You do get a sense after a few hours that you're probably especially the spellcasters get a palpable sense of some kind of high magic off to the east, and you assume that's probably the Templing area between the low hills, but obviously you're not going there at this point, and it passes after another half an hour or so on the road as you continue to move north. Eventually, about midday, the road turns and hits a long strand of river as it starts to the road starts to curve back into itself. You would assume that the river has probably moved a little bit since this map was made, as rivers are known to do, and this river will cut down through toward Nolb. As you're walking along the banks of it, you can see that there are 3 barges out in the river, and on those barges you can see that there are gnomes working them. One of the barges looks to be moving to the northeast, but the other 2 are moving south, probably toward Nolb. Bitsy and Bink, of these gnomes, the river gnomes. They're kind of like river folk or gypsies, and they move down from the divers, trading along the banks of the river to different towns along the area. They're not well thought of by the people of the Greenway Valley,
Okay.
but such is the case. But anyway, you can see them moving along there in the dim as mist hangs across the tops of the water. You could call out to them if you wanted to make some inroads, or you could just continue down the road toward Knoll.
Let's let them be. I've never met an honest gnome.
Locke just stops, looks at the two gnomes in their party, looks at Dard, just shakes his head and walks on.
You mean
You
until us, of course.
You never want to trust anyone without a stalked beard. That's how you know a man is honest.
Bink says, I have a beard. He's got the little pointy fuzz down here.
A beard? That's not a beard. Now this is a beard.
And
No,
what
that's
for
an
me?
Afghan.
And what for me, that Sir Dwarf?
He did say
I-
man.
Oh,
Yeah. All right, so are you just passing them on and moving along toward Nolb?
Sure.
Okay, you get uneasy, Mia, as you move closer and closer to Nolb, because of course Nolb is where you were born.
mhm.
And it's not a particularly nice place. You begin to get in the marshlands. Reminds you a lot of the moat house that you moved through initially. But nevertheless, it is what it is. I'll read you a little excerpt here. The village of Nolb is filthy, ramshackle, and still fairly active despite the destruction of the temple years ago. The buildings are of turf, mud brick, crudely hewn logs, and old timbers from boats. One or two have stone foundations and proper boards, but even these are in need of repair. The inhabitants of the village are typically boatmen, fishers, herdsmen, farmers, and the like. It is apparent that no one manages to make much of a living here in Nolb, and it is such a poor place. It is likely generally ignored by lords and bandits alike. And you can see that there are a few buildings here. Obviously, you being from Nolb, did that switch over?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Just-
Yes, it did.
Look like
Okay.
they're both
Turn
the
to you,
same.
Scott.
Anyway, this is the village of Nome. There's not much to be found here. There's a place called the Waterside Hostel, which is one of the larger buildings in the town, a smithy and stable, and then a herb shop that has is fairly well known, and then the Boatman Tavern and Nolb Market, which is close there to the waterline. You can see that large building. But other than that, there's not a vast amount here as you begin slowly moving your way through the town.
Well, should we go to the tavern or the hostel first to look for this Jobu?
I would say the hostel.
First thing we need to do is go to the smithy and ask for Moradin's blessings on this eve. And then we can go and drink some ale.
Okay.
Or we could just go to the hostel.
Well, at least you have somebody that knows what they need to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off to the smithy.
Okay, who's going with the dwarf?
Grok will go with him.
All right, I assume that means Mia will too.
Yeah.
Grok is, after all, blacksmith.
Yeah, he does. He has blacksmithing. So
That's
his
his
hobby.
yeah, that's his hobby.
And what are the two gnomes and the halfling and the elf doing?
I say we go ask around at the hostel first.
Okay.
All right,
Halfling will accompany them to the
and
Because I'm
so-
thinking this guy's on the run. He's not going to go to even though he's an effete bard, he's probably not going to go to the tavern. He'd go to the hostel.
depends upon whether or not he thought he was followed or not.
Yeah, that's the big question. All right, then we'll take Darn. You move off toward the smithy. You can see it is nothing to write home about, but it is a smithy. You can see there's a powerful human with a bushy beard and large hands. who's working over a piece of iron. He's assisted by what looks to be a dull-witted stable boy, and a rat-faced young apprentice. It looks as though they don't do much here but shoe horses and repair farm stock. If they have weapons, they're not available for sale, but they might be able to mend armors and such.
All right, I will. Dorn will introduce himself as a true priest of Moradin, the All-Father, and ask the tell him that he's visiting this fine town, and ask the smith if he wants a blessing on his anvil, as is the custom.
Yeah, you can see he smiles at that, wrings his hands out, and introduces himself as Otis. And he said he would be quite pleased to have a blessing of the All-Father on his anvil. And then he turns to his apprentice, the boy he calls Sammy, and says, "See, blessings come in all shapes and sizes, Sammy. This is why we keep the shop open."
All right. Well, Durham will bless the anvil, leave a gold coin on it, as is the custom, or take a nail and hammer a gold coin into the post, and then be on his way to the inn.
All right. The guy thanks you and says if you're ever in need of anything, be sure to come by his shop. He does ask you what brings you to the town of Nold. You seem quite out of place.
Hold on one second here.
And you can see he was so enamored by you and the enormous half-orc that came with you that only then does he notice Mia. And he says, "Mia? Is that you, lass?"
Yes, unfortunately, I'm back in town.
We thought something had happened to you. Maybe one of those damn river folk had drug you off final and sure, or a bandit had grabbed you on the way out of town.
I finally made my way out of town.
Well, you seem to have done well enough for yourself. You look almost as a bandit yourself, save I see you with 2 fine adventures and a very fine dwarf.
Just adventuring.
Very fun.
Haven't seen any bards playing around town, have we?
Bards? I don't know about that. Nobody that comes out of a fine academy. Although there is a fancy looking minstrel that's been down at the tavern, the boatman. He's been there for 2 days.
Okay.
Rock.
I appreciate that.
We chose incorrectly.
Of course you did. You're a gnome.
Hopefully, maybe I'll swing back by as I come out or leave town.
All right. Take care of yourself, lass. You know Otis. He's one of there's probably 3 good people in town, and he's one of
It's
them.
one of them, Otis.
But he is one of them. All right.
So our friend seems to be hanging out the tavern.
Rock.
So should we probably ought to go get the others.
Sounds good to me. We'll
All
bid
right.
this smith a farewell. I'll tell him may the hairs on your beard never fall out, sir. Good day to you.
If I
The
could only say
All-Father's
the same,
blessing.
if I could only say the same for my head, you can see he rubs his bald pate. But he wishes you a good day, and you move off. As you do, thunder cracks overhead, boom, 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 and a rain starts up again. All the folk that were out move through the sloshy streets towards their houses, and you make your way back toward the hostel. Just as you're there, just as you're getting there, you can see that the other part of the company is moving out of the hostel. You didn't find anything at the hostel except for what you would probably say are thieves, assassins, dark mercenaries,
No
brigands, anybody posing as something was probably at the hostel, but not the guy that you were talking to, not the guy that you were looking for. I don't know that anybody in that company has influence.
I don't think so.
So
Nope.
you
I
were
don't
they
think
didn't
so.
really give you anything to go on except for the side eye.
Yeah.
Well, our friend has been spotted at the tavern.
Of course we have. Well, it was a 50-50 shot anyway.
All right. So you move up the main street, and finally can see the boatman. It's not a place that brings back too many good memories for you, Mia, as a lot of the ne'er-do-wells in town often wish to drag you there for whatever their ill gains would be. But you do go up to the door and open it up. You can see within the boatman itself, it's just a single level. There are probably less than a dozen men within here, all of them looking to be on the tougher or more bedraggled side. But as soon as you open the door, you can hear the dulcet sounds of a doubter being plucked away near the fire, and a little song recognizing the voice of Sabu Win here. You can see he has a girl, her name's Safine. You can see she's sitting almost at his feet, entranced by what he's playing for her. And then there's another serving woman in there who was always wickedly mean to you, by the name of Beatrice. You can see she's in there talking to some men. And you also see a couple men that were always trying to get hands up your skirts, by the name of Skeeb and Torrance. They're in here tonight as well.
Skeeb sounds lovely.
Doesn't he? Skeeb, old Skeeb.
Might be a good, I don't know, might be a good chance for Locke to go bye-bye.
Why is he going? Why would he stealth up thing?
Aren't we after this minstrel?
Well, you are.
Yeah, but there's no point not just walking up to him and basically.
True.
Accusing him of something. You can see as soon as you get in.
I'll keep myself cloaked.
Okay. You can see Siren just strodes forward like he owns the place.
Of course he does.
Right up to
Locke's gonna run up behind him.
to Sabu, who finally looks up from his playing, where he was almost toying with the girl before him, Safine, and chokes out the last verse of what he was saying as Siren throws back his hood and says, I believe you have something that doesn't belong to you. You can see he gulps and says, good sir, you must have mistaken me for someone else.
Oh, there's no mistake, Mr. Sabu. I
You
suggest
can-
you tell
can
us
see-
where the item is before
He turns
something
around.
bad happens.
He turns around to look at you. Make a awareness check.
My awareness is 8. I got a 3, so that will do it.
Okay, you see two things. One is that there's a pack next to him by the fire, and you can see wrapped into that is a long bundle that's probably a blade.
Aha.
And also you can see as he is looking at Siren, he does something with his hand where he flips a pick that he was using into his sleeve, and another pick comes out that looks like it's made of lapis lazuli, and then he gets ready to lay it to the strings.
Don't let him.
Uh-huh.
don't let him do
He's gonna charm you.
it. What's everybody else doing toward the door of this place?
This is like,
Grok's gonna pull out his mace and just hold it in his hand just in case things start happening.
Okay, Mia, you've got your hood up. You're in the door.
I'm gonna kind of stand. He's so big. I'm just gonna kind of stand to the side of him,
Okay.
kind of out of sight. But I see him take his mace out. I'll go ahead and take my sword out just in case,
Okay.
and keep it under my robe.
It makes a. Do you have stealth? Mia?
Yes.
Make it.
That is 7 with a 1.
Nice. That sword comes out like a whisper. What are the two gnomes doing?
does there appear to be any other way out of here? It's just like a single story and
You could make an awareness check.
okay. No, she does not make it. But Bink gets a 1.
Okay, you can see 3 ways out of here. One goes to a porch out that must go to the river. There's a side entrance that probably leads out to the main road as well. And then there's a way probably into the kitchens, and then there's the main door that you guys are in. So but it's all one level.
Okay, I'm trying to think who is left.
And
Darn is
Darn's
still
there
left.
with you, but I'm not sure what the dwarf's doing yet.
Okay, well, Bink will tell everybody who's around him, which is Darn is with him. It's just the 3 of us. He'll point out the 3 possible ways to get out, and he suggests we each go take one of those ways because everybody else is in the front door, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and if you leave Mia, because Mia and Grok are kind of at the door, like they don't look like they're
Blocking it, kind
moving,
of.
but the 2 gnomes and the dwarf could move if they wanted to.
Yeah, I suggest we take the other 3 possible ways out and don't let him get out.
What do you think, Darn?
Darn's thinking he should make a run for that pack with the sword. And that's what he does.
Did you
Just
have
hauling.
do you have awareness? You need to make an awareness check because the only person that saw it was Locke because he was up close to it. But you could've-
2 out of 8.
okay, yeah, you see the pack too with probably a blade in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm darting for it.
So the dwarf goes, oh, streaking across the
I'm gonna use my
Knock
We roll
him
our-
out of the way as he goes.
We
I'm gonna
roll
use
our
my-
big gnome eyes.
Locke's gonna use his magic dagger and try and cut the strings on the loot.
Ooh, nice move. You got to make it a knit. So let's see if you're faster than Sabu.
7 plus 3 is 10.
And he gets a 10, natural 10. But he has a +1. So he gets an 11 and he was on a nat 10. Uh-oh. That was a nice move, but he was quicker than you. Unless unless Siren can beat him. Nope, 6. All right. So the pick hits the strings, and as soon as it does, a wave of something magic swashes against you.
Mental save.
Mental save, and it's -2.
So I need a 7 or less.
Wow, you've got a 9.
6. Yes, I do. My
Man.
resilience is 10.
The
Wow.
mental save for Siren is 6, so he needs a 4 or less. 5. No, he missed it. So he does not move, but you can. So you can make that strike if you
I'm
want to
gonna
break the
cut that
string.
strings.
Now that's going to be a called shot.
That's fine.
So called shot. We want to hit you. That's going to be. Let's look that up in my new book, just so I make sure we're right. Called shots. It's going to be. It's not a tiny. It's going to be a small. So it's going
Like
to
1 or 2.
It's going to be 1. Yeah, to your target number.
So I need my base is an 8, so I need a 7 or less.
Well, I'm going to go off of his DT.
Okay, what's his DT?
So he's got 2, so basically 3. So you got to
3,
make
so I need a 5 or less.
right. There you
And
go.
I got a 1.
Roll again.
I don't know if I can
You're good, Mark.
make it moved. Another 1.
Nice.
Uh-oh. That's a crit. Roll again.
He's gonna break the loot.
He is, and it's a magic loot, but
3.
he's got a magic dagger. You got a 3 extra
Yeah.
D10. So roll 2D10 on it.
2d10 plus 1, 7. And 8 is 15 plus 1, 16 points.
Okay, so you did 2 over, so it's gonna be, I'm gonna say it's gonna need a 3 or less, or you're gonna break the loot or the duator. And you broke it. You cleave through it, the head of it. You can see there's a burst of magic that
Magic.
goes out of it. And you can see Sabu takes a little bit of like the burst, but it doesn't affect him too much. And you take 7 points. I don't know if that goes over your, probably doesn't go over your
No,
threshold. But
I got a
boom,
10 wound
the
threshold.
magic just kind of fries out of it,
I'm a
blasts
tough
you
little-
back a step. The
little
girl
bastard.
screams. She screams. The dwarf, oh, he goes
Oh, grabs.
Foul sorcery.
back. At the front, you can see 3 men stand up, pulling out weaponry. From here, obviously looking to probably defend Sabu. They must know him.
Grok.
So we'll
I
put
see.
those up. We'll put Sabu up. And then we'll just go straight initiatives across the board for everyone. So Locke, we'll get a new one from you.
New one from Locke. Locke got a 7 plus 3, 10, same as what I got last time.
Okay, Grok.
Grok got a 10 plus 1, 11.
Mia.
You got a 10.
Bink.
7,
Bitsy.
6.
Darn.
Grade 8.
An 8.
8.
8. And Siren is currently stunned for 2 more rounds. He's got 2 more stun cards for the charm that went against him. Then we've got the 3. You can see 2 of the guys that draw weapons are Skeb and Torrance,
Nice.
of course. And then Sabu gets a 4. Okay. So first person to go is Grok.
Am I
mace
close enough to
out.
those idiots to give one of them the mace?
Absolutely.
Skeeb then.
And
Steve.
are they
got
even are they even paying attention to us?
They're turned around toward
They're probably gonna see Grok coming from a mile away though.
right, but they're kind of taking a look at the entirety of the bar because they knew that they didn't come in alone, and the dwarf just run past them.
Oh,
That's fur missile.
So what's his DT? I got a 9 base.
He has a DT of 1.
So I need an 8 or less, and I got a 2. I do 5 and 7, 12 plus 2, 14 points.
You crushed his skull. Blood spurts out all over
Grok.
Torrance. Oh my god. He's killed him.
He's killed me.
The next person to go is we'll take Locke first because I think he's got a higher than Mia. So you're still sitting there next to the bard. You can try to put your dagger in him if you want to.
give him the pick.
Give him the pick.
You there, Mark?
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said Locke's the next person to go.
Oh, sorry.
Are you trying to get the
I'm gonna try and stab the bard.
okay?
I got a 2. I assume that will hit.
Indeed, it does.
I only do a D10. 4 points probably is not enough to penetrate his armor.
You slash him, but it goes off of a leather piece he has underneath his fine shirt. Then it's Mia's. You can get Torrance if you want to tickle Torrance's fancy.
as he's looking in awe of
As I whip my hood down.
Keeb's
Hello,
smashed
Torrance.
skull.
With a 1.
Oh God.
No, with a 6.
Standard damage, but you do run it into.
Oh yeah, there's 17, 19 points.
You
Turns
run him
to-
straight through, and he just stares at you a moment. Then you see his eyes glean recognition. Yeah, his blood comes out of his mouth. The bump falls over, and then it is Darns.
Can I make it to the backpack with the blade?
You can, because you already closed half the distance last round because you started the run. So yeah, you can get there.
Short
I'm gonna-
dwarf's legs.
I'm gonna get over there and try to pull the wrappings off of the handle to see if I can identify the blade.
Okay. I mean, obviously, no, you were, yeah, you know the blade.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was with us.
He was with us, right? Yeah, he was there. Because that was just me and you, Mark, when we were playing. All
Yep.
right. So you can do that. You can see you tear it off, and it looks incredibly similar to the blade that was given over to you guys initially to find Lady Sarah, which is called
It's a famous blade.
yeah, and what is it?
It-
It's,
it-
the hound's
Hound Slayer. This is
Isn't
bad that I don't know it,
yeah, it's bad. You wrote it, damn it.
right? It's freaking horrible. It's called
It's hound something. It's a good name. Anyway,
Oh, you wrote it, Hal?
yeah,
Yeah.
he wrote it. He wrote that adventure that we
Cool.
went through.
Bitter Moon,
Yeah, Bitter Moon, the Hound Hunter.
Hound Hunter.
That's it.
Can I use a sword?
Yeah, you've got melee, so you can use any standard weapon. Yeah, but you pull
All right.
it away and can see that that's it is that blade.
I'll draw it
Um,
out then.
All right, swing, it comes out. Then the next person to go is Bink. There's only one guy left that pulled out a weapon, and there is the bard as well.
And no one has currently done anything to the bard.
I
No.
tried to stab him, but I
Tried,
didn't
but
hurt
he
him.
Right.
backed off, and you can see Siren's not moving. So
So I'm gonna go after the bard.
okay,
Snap out of it, good elf.
No,
I
you
need
said
your
he's-
assistance.
He's got a 2 DT, you said?
yes,
Yeah, I got an 8.
all right. He backpedals again, going towards one of the doors. The next person to go is Bitsy,
Which door is he going towards?
the one by the water.
And who's on that one?
Nobody. You guys didn't even get to move because the dwarf just started running.
Oh, that's right.
Blast him.
Blast him.
Kind of good spells that you have.
She doesn't have many because she still doesn't have medium spells yet. I don't think. One more level.
No, I'm third.
No, you
I
are
have
third.
medium. Yeah.
But even then, she's an illusionist, so she doesn't have that great a spell. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him with mind tricks confusion.
Ooh, confusion. All right.
So I rolled a 2, so I got it.
So you got your casting. He's gonna make his mental save. That's gonna be close. Let's see. Confused. All right. You can see he kind of stumbles a bit at that. Obviously, he's at negatives to his skill checks. You did get him. He does seem to be kind of confused, but he screams for elf, kill the halfling. And you can see Siren turns toward Locke and pulls out his elven longblade.
Uh-oh.
But of course he doesn't have quick, so that's his action to pull that out. Then it is because he went at 6. So it goes, actually it's the guy toward the front. He's going to try to stab, call odd or even, Joe.
I'll be even.
Even. He's going to try to get Mia. And he got a 4. That's going to miss her. She blocks it to the side with her broadsword. And then it goes back to the top of the order. Grok. And since you're only using a mace, you get to attack.
Yep.
You can try to kill the guy that's on Mia.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. 8. What's his DT?
1.
So that's enough. That hit him.
1.
5 and 3, 8 and 2, 10 points.
Okay. You wiped him out. There
Bang.
he goes, Gathund. And then it is Locks.
I'm gonna run.
Okay. You scramble away. Then comes Mia.
Siren, wake up, buddy, it's me.
Don't kill me.
Can I make it to the bard?
He is backpedaling toward the door. What's your physical, or what's your max movement and movement to attack?
See here, max movements be 5 times, physical would be 50 to 25.
25.
25. Well, it's 50 but you've got light armor.
Yeah.
Are you combat?
Yeah. No, social.
Social. So you do have the neg. So that's 45. So yeah, you could. You should be able to get to him because he's
22.
confused. He was confused, so he didn't run. So
I'll get to him.
yeah, she goes leaping across the table, slides across, spills some beers on her way over, and then gets to him. And we have that rule because of Hal. He demanded that we had to have how far people could move and attack.
Who did?
Hal did.
See, he
Oh,
told
the-
you it would come in handy.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
his
we know
rule.
who to blame, huh?
Yeah.
Who's to blame?
I rolled a 2 on him
Okay, I got him. Slash.
for 13, 15 points.
That's 1 wound. Ah! You can see still his eyes are kind of rolling at that. He still doesn't know exactly what's going on. Then it is Darns. You got
I'm gonna go after Sabu and try to hit him with the sword.
all right. You're gonna get him from behind because you're on this side now or at the flank. He spins around. Doesn't know what.
And
said
can- and
him
I'm
being
gonna say,
confused,
give
would
it
that
up,
be a sneak?
man. Give it up. You don't have to die here. We've already got the sword. You've lost.
But are
Yes,
you
he does. He
stabbing him?
needs to die.
An 8. My combat is an 8.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know what the sword does.
the sword is +1, so that still doesn't do it because he's got 2 DT. So he's able to turn that away or get out of the way of
Just
that just
barely.
enough. Bink.
Try again. Yes, with a 3.
And what were you trying to do, Bink? Or you're moving across the room and attacking Sabu, I guess.
Yeah,
He's the
Yeah,
only one
that's what
left.
he tried
because
to
that's
do
who I
last
attacked
time.
last time.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, you're there.
So this +5. 9 points.
That is a wound. Ugh. Driving back a step. Ugh. You can see he's bleeding out of his side of his mouth. Bitsy.
She is going to. I know what she's going to do. She's going to do shadow magic. So he gets a -2 on the next roll he tries to do anything. Is that what that
Actually,
means?
it's for a number of rounds equal to your total CCV.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Okay. So I got a 5. I got it.
And you said
So-
it's -1.
It's -2 to all skill checks.
So now he's -4 to all skills because he's confused and you've hit him with a shadow magic. He doesn't know what's going on.
I can't kill anybody, but I can really mess him up.
Siren, you can see he leaps across the table. What's your physical? Locke.
Locke's physical is 10.
All right, you're able to
Damn.
skitter away from him as you get around the bar, and he's chasing you around the bar, but he can't catch you. God.
Get him off
And
me! Get him off me!
then it is I guess it's Sabu's. You can see he man, he's out of his mind. He can't even surrender because he's so confused.
I don't want him
He's-
surrendered. I want him dead.
You can see he finally decides he's going to stumble toward he's already close to it. He's going to stumble through the door toward the deck that goes out by the water. You can see stumbles out there, spins around until his back's against the railing, looking odd-eyed at anybody that would follow him. That's as far as he can get because he's so confused, but he is there. So then it goes back to Grok.
Grok.
Grok, you can try a grapple check if you want to grab a hold of Siren and stop him.
Yeah,
from
I'll try that.
crashing the door.
I do have unarmed.
Yes, you do. That's why I was telling you.
What's Siren's CT?
It's DT. Well, it's
Or,
3.
yeah,
but
DT, sorry.
That's opposed, isn't it?
it's just an opposed
Oh,
check. So it's
Oh,
your
okay.
it's your physical, yeah.
So
your
it's physical plus unarmed, right?
Yep, plus your
So-
level.
18 plus 3. 21.
21 plus a D10.
Minus
21
4.
plus 7. 28.
And I got a 17. So you pick him up or hold him.
You got a 17 minus 4.
Struggling. What?
You got a 17 minus 4.
No, this is Siren.
No, it's Siren.
Oh, it's Siren. Oh,
He
sorry.
grabbed the elf, so he couldn't attack
Yeah.
he couldn't
The
attack
halfling.
halfling.
Who's
All right,
chasing?
then it goes to Locke. You're probably just hiding at this point.
Yep.
Mia,
Chase after Sobu.
Sabu, are you attacking him or just going out onto the deck with him?
If I can hit him, I'll attack him.
All right, you charge. She comes out with her broadsword screaming.
It's a 7. So I would hit a DT2.
That's what he's got.
That's what he's got, yeah.
16, 18 points.
All right. You can see you run your blade through him and he takes it, and then you can see flips over backwards, splash into the water and bobs up like a cork as rain is pouring down on you as the river starts to take him.
I don't know if somebody wants to grab him or.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach in and try to grab him so he doesn't wash away.
Well, you have to go down off the deck to get to him because he fell off the deck backwards. So you have to get off the deck, go down onto the river and try to fish him out.
How fast is the river moving?
It's not too fast. I mean, you
How
could
deep
do
is
it.
it?
You could do it. It's just you get wet. It's going to take you some time, but yeah, you can grab him.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right. You finally end up pulling him to the shore as the torrents continue to pelt you. Back inside, you can see people are just kind of warily watching you or trying to get out of here. But there doesn't seem to really be an organized, town militia or anything like that looking to stop people from killing people. It probably happens all the time here.
No more of my friends in here.
Not that you reckon. Well, the girls, obviously, but you're outside. Yeah.
Oh, Beatrice.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll figure this out. Then I'll come in and I'll deal with her.
Are you helping get the body of Sabu in out of the water? I guess is the question with the dwarf.
Well, that was after my initiative. I mean, I can.
Right. I mean, I'm just going to it's going to take you 10 minutes
Yeah.
for you guys to get down off the deck, go get him.
Yeah, I'll
If you're the
help the
two-
dwarf.
If you're the two that are retrieving him, you're the two that are retrieving him. Eventually, once he dropped off the edge, you can see Siren comes out of his charm. Oh, what happened?
I'll release him. Grok. You were trying to kill me.
Why would I do that, good halfling?
I don't know, but you were trying. I think you
It's
were
your
under
weak
the effects
elven
of a
mind
charm.
gave in to the bard's magic.
Here we go. That's gonna start a fight.
You can see he looks there, or you're not even there, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
You're out
swimming.
searching up the body. If nobody's stopping people from getting out of here, most people probably beat a hasty retreat. And
we
then the
don't
rest
care
of the
about
party, I
anybody
guess, can go
stopping.
out to find what's happened to Darn and Mia and see them fishing the body out of the river.
River.
So now the question is, because we have the mule, do we take the whole body back to Lady Gagwin or just a head?
I think all she wants is the sword. She
Well-
could care less.
I always like to give a little extra, you know?
He didn't seem just a tip type guy, so
It's only a day back, so
but it's already
we could probably do the
nighttime
full
now.
body, just wrap it up in its cloak and put it on the mule,
Carry it back.
right?
What's in his backpack?
You can see he has a few, odd gold, 20 gold. You can see he's got several picks, some extra strings, and that looks to be about it of anything of value. Just a couple things to travel with, but some foodstuffs, a little bit of wine. But his instrument was destroyed by Locke's dagger.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. That was cool.
The deuter of diluting. That's what that one's called.
Dara suggests we leave the coin in the hands of the smith to disperse to the town, and that we leave the night before people get ideas and start to come after the sword.
Yeah,
We
because
might
it's only
wanna-
probably 2 in the afternoon, so it's about a
Yeah.
5-hour trek or 5 or 6 hours back to Hommlet. You can make it there, by nightfall.
Yeah.
Might
it's
want to
Right,
leave
good
that
idea.
coin in the bar.
Dark
for the
along the road,
damages.
obviously, but it's raining. But if it's better than staying here, this is a rough town
Could leave the coin at the bar for damages.
for cleanup. Well,
Maybe a
he'd
few coin, but you should go to the, obviously this town is run down and dilapidated. It's the people are impoverished. A few coin in the hands of the poor would bring the whole town up a bit,
Yeah.
I should
Otis
say.
would make sure something would be done. So
I like the honorable dwarf. The cleric of Morden's awesome. All right. And for your